nobody is coming. Not the perfect moment, not a lucky break, not a secret opportunity that suddenly makes you disciplined. Not some future version of you who wakes up fearless and finally feels ready. And before that sounds harsh, stay with me, because this is where the story changes. The moment you realize nobody is coming is not the moment life becomes hopeless. It is the moment waiting loses its power over you. You stop staring at the door. You stop bargaining with tomorrow. You stop saying, "When I feel ready, I'll begin." And for the first time, your life stops being something you are waiting to receive. It becomes something you are building. But here is the part most people never think about. A long life does not contain as much time as it feels like it should. If you measure an 80-year life in weeks, you get a little over 4,000 of them. That's the whole canvas. Not endless decades, weeks. If you are 30, you have already lived about 1,560 weeks. Gone. Not wasted necessarily, just used. And that number is not meant to scare you into panic. It is meant to wake you up from the illusion that there will always be another season to become serious. Because the clock does not wait until your confidence arrives. The calendar does not pause until your plan feels perfect. The weeks keep moving, whether you are moving with them or not. So the question becomes uncomfortable, but useful. What are you still waiting for? Most people think motivation has to come first. They wait for the feeling. They wait to wake up inspired. They wait for the energy, the certainty, the clean emotional weather. But research on progress tells a different story. Teresa Amabile and Stephen Kramer studied thousands of work diaries and found that forward movement in meaningful work is one of the strongest drivers of positive emotion and motivation. In plain language, progress creates fuel. Even small wins matter. That means action does not always follow motivation. Many times, motivation follows action. Tie the shoes first. Open the notebook first. Write the bad first sentence first. Walk into the gym before you feel like the kind of person who belongs there. The beginning is not supposed to feel heroic. It's supposed to feel small. That's the trick. The step looks too small to matter, so most people skip it. But the small step is where momentum starts hiding. Imagine two hikers standing at the foot of the same mountain. The first hiker looks straight at the summit. He sees distance, cold, exhaustion, and the long, impossible line between here and there. So he calls the mountain unrealistic. The second hiker sees the same summit, the same distance, the same cold, the same pain waiting above him. But he does not ask, "Can I conquer the mountain today?" He asks, "Where is the next safe step?" A year later, the mountain did not change. The hikers did. That is what most people misunderstand about impossible goals. The goal is not made smaller by staring at it. It is made reachable by dividing it into steps your nervous system can survive. And there is a reason change feels so strange, even when it is good for you. Your brain and body are built to protect what feels familiar. In biology, homeostasis describes the tendency to maintain internal stability. In life, we experience a version of that whenever a new identity threatens the old routine. This is why the gym feels awkward at first, why public speaking feels like danger, why starting a business can make your chest tighten before anything has even gone wrong, why leaving a familiar job can feel scarier than staying stuck. Discomfort is not always a warning. Sometimes it is evidence that the old pattern is losing control. You are not weak because change feels uncomfortable. You are human, but you are responsible for what you do with that discomfort.
Here is where comfort becomes dangerous. Comfort does not just sit there, it compounds. Every time you avoid the difficult conversation, avoidance gets easier. Every time you choose the couch over the walk, that choice becomes more normal. Every time you delay the first page, the blank page gets louder. But courage compounds too. Every honest conversation trains the next one. Every workout lowers the wall around the next workout. Every hour spent learning becomes proof that you are not trapped inside the old version of yourself. Every action casts a vote. Not once, not dramatically, quietly, repeatedly, privately, for the person you are becoming. History is full of people whose lives looked unfinished for much longer than we remember.
Abraham Lincoln is often remembered as a monument, a face carved into history. But before the presidency, his path included business failure, political defeats, personal grief, and repeated setbacks. He lost races. He missed nominations. He kept returning. The point is not that failure magically makes someone great. Failure by itself teaches nothing if you quit listening. The point is that early results are not final evidence. Sometimes they are just the first chapters of a much longer story. And this next part changes everything. What if your breakthrough is not being blocked by a lack of talent? What if it is being delayed by a pattern of stopping too early? Picture a miner in the dark. The air is heavy. His hands ache. The tunnel gives him nothing but dust. He swings once. Nothing. Again. Nothing. 100 times. Nothing. From the outside, it looks foolish. Then one more strike breaks the wall. Gold flashes through the stone. The observer sees the final swing. But the breakthrough was created by all the swings that looked useless. Life works like that more often than we want to admit. The invisible swings still count. The quiet days still count. The work no one applauds still counts. One day, you may look back at this season of your life and understand it differently. The uncertainty, the pressure, the slow progress, the private frustration, the days when you wondered if anything was changing. Maybe you were not buried. Maybe you were planted. A seed disappears before it rises. For a while, everything important happens in the dark. Roots move before leaves appear. Strength forms before anyone calls it growth. It was training direction into you. The delay was not only punishment. It was building roots deep enough to hold what you keep asking for. So stop waiting for a rescue that may never knock. Stop negotiating with the version of yourself that only wants comfort. Stop asking whether you are ready. Take the next step, then another, then another. In our last journey through the endless forest, we learned that progress comes one step at a time. You do not need to see the entire path. You only need enough courage for the next step. And in our next journey, we will explore why the strongest people often look the weakest right before they break through. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and continue the journey with us. We will keep walking together.